For more content in production, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. Thank you. We'll begin.
Shalom, shalom. My name is Baruch. Thank you for watching the Torah Effects. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you press the red button to get more productions every week. In this episode, we'll investigate the enigma of the Nazarite, or Nazir. The vow was taken by individuals who have voluntarily dedicated themselves to Yahweh. The vow is a decision, action, and desire on the part of people whose desire is to yield themselves to Yahweh completely. What is behind this command? Why is so important to know this? Did the Mashiach Yahushua made a vow of Nazarite, or was he a Nazarene? Fasten your seatbelts, this episode will be incredible. Coming up next.
In this episode of the Torah Effects, we'll investigate the mystery of the Nazarite. What is the difference between the Nazarite and the Nazarene? Let's start with number 6. To speak to the sons of Israel, and you shall say to them, when a man or a woman shall vow a vow, the vow of a Nazarite to be separated to Yahweh. The Hebrew word for Nazarite is transliteration, Nazir. Definition, one dedicated, devoted. The Hebrew word for vow is transliteration, neder. Definition, a vow. This vow possesses 5 attributes. Men or women can participate. It has a certain duration, specific requirements and restrictions, is voluntary, and at the end, a sacrifice is made. We have to consider this. The individual who made the vow had a specific purpose. Now let's take a look at few people who made a vow of Nazarite, shall we? Their parents made a vow for them to dedicate themselves for a specific reasons. Samuel, Samson, Yohanan, or John the Immerser. This shows that the vow had a beginning and an end. He is consecrated to Yahweh throughout the period of his separation. Number 6, 8 all the days of his separation he shall be Kadosh, set apart to Yahweh. The duration of the vow was between the person and Yahweh. The vow could be for life, or it could be just for a few hours. Each vow was unique and adapted to Yahweh's purposes for that particular individual. Samson was set aside to save the people from the Philistines. Samuel was set aside to be a Kohen Haggadol, high priest, and a prophet who would be used to anoint kings. Yohanan was set aside to pave the way for the Mashiach. Now let's see examples of the Nazarite vow with Yohanan the Immerser. Luke 1 verse 15, for he shall be great in the eyes of Yahweh, and he shall not drink wine or strong drink, and he will be filled with the set-apart spirit, even from his mother's womb. Now the question on point is, did the Mashiach Yahushua made a Nazarite vow? Luke 7 verse 33, for John the Immerser has come neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and you say, he has a demon. Luke 7 verse 34, the Son of Man came eating and drinking, and you say, behold, a gluttonous man and one drinking wine, and a friend of publicans and sinners. Now we clearly see the Mashiach here has not taken the Nazarite vow yet. Why do we say that? Well, let's remember this key point. We are talking about the Mashiach of Israel, that's supposed to come and fulfill many prophecies. These multilinear prophecies are being fulfilled by the Mashiach. Examples: Yahushua has the title of prophet, high priest, redeemer, savior, son of man, including Nazarite. Matthew 5 verse 17, do not think that I came to annul the Torah or the prophets. I did not come to annul, but to fulfill. So if the Mashiach came to fulfill, wherein the Torah talks about the Mashiach, about the Nazarite vow? Psalms 22 verse 25, from you is my praise in the great assembly. I pay my neder, vows, before those who fear him. Now, let's see in the Torah. Genesis 49 verse 26, the blessings of your father are above the blessings of my offspring, to the limit of everlasting hills. May they be for the head of Joseph and for the crown of the one separated, Nazir, of his brothers. Now let's take a look of the word crown in Hebrew. Transliteration, kadkad. Definition, head, crown of the head. Now let's look at another word for crown in Hebrew. Exodus 29 verse 6, and you shall set the turban on his head and put the kadosh, set apart, Nezer, crown, on the turban. Transliteration, Nezer. Definition, separation, crown, Naziriteship. This indicates the hair of the male or female becomes the crown while the vow of Nazarite. Let's look at the Aramean Targum Onkelos of this verse. Targum Onkelos Genesis 49 verse 26, they shall be on Joseph's head, on the crown of him who was a Nazir, Nazarite among his brothers, and on the man who was separated from his brothers. Now let's see what is the meaning of the word Nazarene, shall we? Nazarene is some that comes from the city of Nazareth. Matthew 2 verse 23, and coming, he lived in a city called Nazareth, so as to fulfill that spoken by the prophet, he shall be called a Nazarene. Now this is nothing new. Mary of Magdala, Shaul, or Paul of Tarsus. They were called according to the city where they came from. Now let's find out if Mashiach Yahushua took the Nazarite vow. Matthew 26 verse 29, but I say to you, I will not at all drink of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in the kingdom of Yahweh. Now let's put the pieces together, shall we? As we mentioned earlier in the video, the Nazarite vow could be taken for a specific time frame, for a few hours, days, or years. In the case of the Mashiach of Yisrael, he took the vow on Pesach, Passover night. Numbers 6-3, he shall separate from wine and fermented drink. He shall not drink vinegar of wine or vinegar of fermented drink. Numbers 6-5, all the days of the vow of his separation. A razor shall not pass over his head. He shall be dedicated until all the days are fulfilled which he is separated to Yahweh. Now when did the Nazarite vow ended? We have to be clear on this point. The clues are in the Hebrew scriptures that speak about the Mashiach of Yisrael. Psalms 89 verse 39, you have turned away from the covenant of your servant. You have defiled his Nazir, crown, on the ground. Isaiah 50 verse 6, I gave my back to strikers, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair. I did not hide my face from shame and spitting. In this verse, we can see the prophecy being fulfilled as Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9 what it was, it will be done again. Yahushua on his vow of Nazarite was broken by those who defiled his crown. How? Well, it is clear that his beard was plucked and his hair was bald by the aggressors. Ironically, they gave him a crown of thorns. Matthew 27 verse 29, and they wove a crown of thorns and put it on his head. Matthew 27 verse 34, they gave him vinegar mingled with gall to drink, and having tasted, he would not drink. At this point, Mashiach still holds on to his vow, ready to bring the offering at the cross. If death shows up in the midst of a Nazarite's vow, he has to start all over again from the beginning at the Mishkan tent of the meeting. He has to be reappointed to his crown, his vow. Numbers 6, 9, and if any man dies very suddenly beside him, and he defiles his consecrated head. Numbers 6:12, and he shall separate to Yahweh the days of his separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a guilt offering. But the former days shall be void, for his separation was defiled. Now after his death and resurrection, Mashiach appeared to Miriam, and she wanted to touch him, but Mashiach urged her not to. John 20 verse 17, Yahshua said to her, do not touch me, for I have not yet ascended to my Father. Hebrews 9 verse 24, for Mashiach did not enter into the most set-apart place made by hands, which is a symbol of the true one, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of Yahweh on our behalf.
Shalom, shalom. Well, what do you think? That was awesome. In this journey we take every week on finding treasures. Now we know Mashiach Yahushua took the Nazarite vow to fulfill the prophesies in the Hebrew scriptures. Here in this channel we've taken the task every week to bring you exciting conferences in this channel, the Torah Effects. Please give us a like and subscribe so you can get the latest video production. Thank you. Until next time, my name is Baruch. Shalom, shalom.
Toda Rabba. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. There's more content in production. Thank you.